These are the Salt River wild horses near Saguaro Lake, about an hour east of Phoenix, Arizona, as shown here by the arrows on the big map and on the closer view. That beautiful mountain range is called Four Peaks. You can see the desert's very green this time of year in the springtime, and these horses have a pretty nice life. Here are a couple of what I would presume are young stallions that are sparring. I don't think it's a really serious fight, just kind of practicing for the real thing. And then one little kick at the end for good measure. And then here's that same buckskin looking horse he found another friend to play with, doing the old head shake that stallions often do to show their dominance. That horse in the foreground has a nasty looking scar on the top of his back. I'm sure that came from something more than just playful sparring. That buckskin horse on the right has a very unique mane. It's got some blonde in it, so I have a better close-up of that later in the video. And then after kind of fighting for a while, they walk off like best friends. And then a couple more started up with a little play fighting. If you're enjoying this video, please remember to click the like button, and if you subscribe, you can be notified of more videos coming out in the future. When wild horses are fighting or sparring like this, a lot of times they go up high to try and get the best position, but I've often seen them go down low like that, I think just to protect their underside. And again here, I think they're just sparring and having some fun and playing the way horses play. I don't think that one would let the other bite him like that if it was serious. And then also they wouldn't just stand side by side like this, as friends would often do. Oh, but then they go after it again. One big lunge, and then they go around in circles for a while, and it's kind of comical to watch. After all that, they just kind of wander off. From there, they went just a few steps and found this dirt spot where they had a nice roll. They kind of stand there taking turns. After the first one stands up, what better way to communicate you want to get in there than to bite them to move them out of the way? And a good shake feels oh so good. This one that moved in after the first one took off rolled around in that dirt longer than I think I've ever seen any other horse take a dust bath. I finally cut the video a little bit and then just showed you the tail end as he gets up. What a pretty blaze on that one too, huh? And another way to scratch your itch is to just find a handy bush nearby. So then things kind of settled down and everybody started grazing peacefully. You can see that one had a big chunk of grass he's chewing on. That's Superstition Mountains in the background. It's a beautiful mountain range. It has Lost Dutchman State Park that I highly recommend if you're ever in the Phoenix area. These two boys that were sparring earlier are now calmly grazing side by side, and then they just kind of wander off to the right like two best buddies would do. I'm sure you can't help but notice there were a lot of other people there taking pictures. I was there on a Saturday afternoon. The lady in the blue is definitely too close. They tell you that you're supposed to stay about 50 feet away. Fortunately, my zoom lens lets me get nice close-up shots like this one while staying at least 50 feet away. And a few of the horses lay down to sleep like this one. Did you know horses only need about 3 hours or less of sleep a day? It always amazes me how healthy these wild horses look when they have no vet, no farrier, no one to feed and water them or give them vitamins and supplements. It's crazy how they not only survive, but they actually thrive out here in the wild. Here's a big, handsome, mature-looking stallion that I'm almost sure I saw when I was out here the last time. And speaking of which, I have two other videos for the wild horses out here, so I'll put links at the end of this video so you can click on those if you want to take a look. Again, here you can see just how healthy these horses look. We'll get up nice and close to them. And they know how to pick real estate, don't they? I'm a realtor myself in the Phoenix area, and yeah, everybody knows location, location, location. This big boy popped up out of nowhere, and as we get up close, you can see he's what's called flea bitten. That doesn't mean he's actually bitten by fleas, but that's just what they call when they have those flecks in their coat. Well, it seemed like someone almost flipped a switch, and all of a sudden there was a lot more commotion going on with horses kind of running and trotting all over the place. And that lady was way too close. She finally got out of the way just in the nick of time. You definitely don't want to be too close when those hooves start flying. This nice bay horse with the white star looks really pretty as he trots along in slow motion here. And then, out of nowhere, this big group of horses started coming towards some of us that were standing there, and sorry it's a little jerky, but I'm trying to back up as fast as I can to get out of their way. It was definitely a scary situation as this big horse comes right by me with his ears laid back. I had my camera zoomed back as far as it would go right there. And then there's a volunteer in the jacket you can see telling everyone, hey, why don't we go up on that hill a little bit farther? And they're still coming close to us. The volunteer there is still saying, move back, move back. These two come out and kind of sniff noses, and then it's like, hey, let's march. Here you can see the Superstition Mountains again in the background as I kind of pan around, give you a feel for what it's like out there. And then they all kind of file, single file to the right and start grazing again. Suddenly I heard a little commotion to the left, and I panned over and caught this one kicking the other one right in the side and almost hit him in the head. I'm not sure how many total horses there are in this band of wild Mustangs, but I would guess it's about 40 to 50 of them. Here's a big boy munching down on some grass, and then we've got some white ones here. They're actually gray technically because they have the black skin, but you can see there's a lot of those in this band. I have a feeling way back in the past there was a stallion who was the light gray like these are. I love this one with the dark mane. I got a really nice picture of him at the end. I think I got a picture of this one as well. So we're getting close to the end of the video, and if you want to stick around you can see some really nice photographs. I like this shot of the three gray ones around the same bush. And speaking of bushes, here's another horse munching on a bush. This horse comes walking up with his ears flattened back to drive the other one off, and he likes that nice little green patch of grass to graze on. Now the herd has moved up onto this hill that is to the right of where we first started out. Still has that great background though, and you can see they're just having a good old time eating away up there. Here are a couple of the light gray ones, including the one that has that black mane that really sets it off apart from the rest of his coat. And before we show just a few pictures, here's that one with the blonde in its mane that I thought looked really unique and interesting. And now for the pictures I promised. I love the chestnut color and the white blaze on this horse. Here he is again with that beautiful backdrop. This looks like a younger horse to me, but I thought it was really pretty. And then here's a flea-bitten gray that's driving another horse. And here's that shot of that beautiful dapple gray that has the black mane and tail. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video about the Salt River wild horses, and here are a couple of links for two other videos I did previously about them.